There's a silent prison that traps millions of people. No bars, no chains, no locked doors, and yet some never escape. It is the prison of endless thinking, the prison of waiting, the prison of what if. What if I fail? What if I make the wrong choice? What if there's a better option? What if I'm not ready? And so they sit, day after day, month after month, year after year, not moving, not failing, but not living. Because the greatest tragedy in life is not making the wrong decision. The greatest tragedy is spending your entire life trying to make the perfect one. Right now, somewhere in the world, a person is preparing to start a business. They've read the books, watched the videos, studied the market, built the spreadsheets, researched every possibility, and still they haven't started. Somewhere else, someone wants to write a book. Someone wants to leave a toxic relationship. Someone wants to pursue a dream. Someone wants to change their life. But they are waiting for certainty, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect plan, waiting for permission. And while they wait, life keeps moving. The seasons change. The years pass. The opportunities disappear. And one day they wake up wondering where all the time went. Analysis paralysis is not really a thinking problem. It is an emotional problem disguised as an intellectual one. Most people believe they are stuck because they need more information. But information is rarely the issue. Fear is. Fear wears the mask of logic. Fear pretends to be wisdom. Fear disguises itself as preparation. But underneath all the calculations, all the research, all the endless planning, there is often one simple truth. You are afraid. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of embarrassment. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of losing. Afraid of discovering that you are not as capable as you hoped. And because fear is uncomfortable, the mind creates a beautiful escape route. Thinking. More thinking. Even more thinking. Because as long as you're analyzing, you don't have to act. And as long as you don't act, you don't have to risk failure. But there is something far more dangerous than failure. Regret. Failure hurts. Regret haunts. Failure teaches. Regret tortures. Failure can be corrected. Regret becomes part of your identity. Years from now, you will not be haunted by every mistake you made. You will be haunted by the life you never dared to live. You will wonder what would have happened if you had started, if you had spoken, if you had tried, if you had trusted yourself. And that question can echo through an entire lifetime. The cruel irony is that certainty does not exist. Not for anyone, not for the wealthy, not for the successful, not for the confident. Look closely at the people you admire, the leaders, the visionaries, the innovators, the creators. You imagine they possessed some magical clarity before taking action, but they didn't. They moved while uncertain. They stepped forward while afraid. They acted without guarantees. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is not certainty. It is courage. Courage is not the absence of doubt. Courage is movement despite doubt. Think about a ship leaving a harbor, standing on shore. You can study the ocean forever. You can examine every weather forecast, every map, every possible danger. You can spend years preparing. But eventually there comes a moment when preparation becomes procrastination. The ship was not built to stay in the harbor, and neither were you. You were not born to endlessly calculate life. You were born to experience it, to struggle, to learn, to adapt, to become. The most powerful lesson life teaches is something school never taught us. Clarity does not come before action. Clarity comes because of action. Most people think they need confidence before they begin. In reality, confidence is built after beginning. Most people think they need certainty before they decide. In reality, certainty emerges after deciding. Most people think they need motivation before they move. In reality, motivation often appears after movement. The path reveals itself only to those willing to walk it. A fog-covered road may hide the next mile, but it always reveals the next step, and the next step is enough. Life is not asking you to see the entire journey. Life is asking you to trust yourself with the next step. One step, then another, then another. The people who transform their lives are rarely the smartest people in the room. They are often the people willing to look foolish for a while, willing to be beginners, willing to make mistakes, willing to learn publicly, willing to move before they feel ready, because they understand something profound. Perfection is not the gateway to progress. Progress is the gateway to excellence. Every master was once uncertain. Every champion was once inexperienced. Every successful person once stood exactly where you stand now, confused, afraid, doubtful, wondering whether they should begin. And their future changed the moment they stopped asking if they could and started proving that they would. Perhaps the real question isn't whether your plan is perfect. Perhaps the real question is this: how much of your life are you willing to sacrifice, waiting for certainty that will never arrive? How many dreams will you postpone? How many opportunities will you delay? How many versions of yourself will remain undiscovered? Because life rewards movement, not perfection, not endless planning, not infinite preparation. Movement. The smallest action creates more momentum than 1,000 brilliant ideas trapped inside your head. A single step can change a direction. A single decision can alter a destiny. A single moment of courage can transform an entire life. And maybe that moment is right now. Maybe this is the moment you stop negotiating with fear. Maybe this is the moment you stop worshiping certainty. Maybe this is the moment you stop waiting for confidence. Maybe this is the moment you choose action. Not because you know exactly what will happen, but because you finally understand that growth lives on the other side of movement. The life you want is not hidden behind a perfect plan. It is hidden behind a courageous first step. So take it. Today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Today. Move. Begin. Trust yourself. Because the greatest opportunities in life rarely belong to those who knew everything. They belong to those who dared to act while still uncertain. And if this message spoke to you, if you've spent too long trapped inside your own thoughts, let this be your turning point. Like this video. Share your biggest takeaway in the comments. Subscribe for more powerful journeys into self-mastery, discipline, courage, and personal transformation. And most importantly, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Take the next step. Your future is waiting for your courage to catch up.